What is going on, guys? Kind of Fool here with my episode 13 review of The Walking Dead. Actually, I'm going to set up episode 13 of The Walking Dead, Arrow on the Doorstep. As I always remind you in the beginning, spoilers from the episode and previous episodes, so if you're not currently caught up to the TV show, I recommend going away. Comic book spoilers I will tag before I say them. I used to say that in the beginning, if you know, but I don't go into the comic book that much, so there's nothing to really worry about. So once again, there are spoilers from the spoilers. So if you have not caught up to the TV show, I recommend leaving until you have done so. And the comic book, like I said, I will mention beforehand, and I'll give you maybe a couple seconds to where to go in the video to ignore that. So let's get right into it. If you hear my TV, I have it on and just watching Talking Dead because Talking Dead has got a good cast this week, and also sweaty a little bit. It's pretty hot. It's been in the 20s for like the past month, and it's been like 60 today. So, and a haircut. So, also once again, I'm not looking at the AMC one. The screen is white. If you go on the website, it's all black. Watch. Just boom. And they wait 15 minutes to put the detail. Oh, actually, they have it up right now. How convenient. Thanks, AMC. So yeah, I actually got the AMC one again. Last 2 weeks I haven't. I kind of rushed it because I always thought it was 15 minutes, and it's been 12 minutes, so it's pretty much 10 minutes. But let's get right into it. They show up to a seed depot or something. I don't know what it was, but there were signs of seeds. Rick, Daryl, and Herschel show up. Rick goes into a building and sees the governor. The first time they see each other, they know who they are, even though they haven't seen them, but they know who each other are. The governor saying pretty much, he shows him, he takes off his weapons belt, utility belt, whatever you want to call it, and says, you know, he's not here to kill you, which is surprising for the governor. And Rick does the same. There's also, governor has this place set up already for a, you know, just in case he's a gun strapped to the table. So they're in bad territory now for Rick, but nothing happens. Spoiler, you know, you were. Herschel and Daryl are waiting outside where they were. Milton, Andre, and Martinez show up. Andre goes in there and, you know, stirs shit up like she always does, while the other two, they just outside they're waiting. A lot of people were speculating earlier that there would be a confrontation at this event. Me too. I was borderline. So we don't know that yet. But Milton introduces us how it starts off, and Daryl and Martinez are just eyeing each other. They're both have the same roles in each group. They're henchmen, pretty much. Not really friends, but it could be friends. They just do what they're told. At the prison, Glenn is giving out orders where to put ammo, where to put guns for secret stashes in case there's a raid. Merle butts in and says, we should ambush the governor. Instantly Glenn shuts down, no. Michonne chimes in and says, Rick said not to. So you know that, you know, Merle wants to just go straight there. And his brothers, he thinks his brothers are in trouble. That's his main reasoning for this. But they were telling him that they're not going to put a crossfire between everybody. So they're not going to go. They're not going to let him go himself because Daryl would be pretty pissed off at that. You don't want to piss off Daryl because they need him at this time. Actually, it's a feed store, whatever it says in the review. I don't know. But Rick has an idea. Andre actually set up the meeting. They don't say that, but you get the gist that she did. And they're coming out with terms. Rick ends up showing the governor a map of what areas they both can have. I think Rick said east of the river, and the governor has the west of the river. Governor instantly shoots that down. He's not for that. They start getting a little bit more aggressive. Not, you know, tensions are getting stronger and stronger by the second. And the funny part, everybody loved this scene when I was, you know, in the chat rooms and everything. Andrea gets kicked out. Not by the governor, but not only by the governor, but Rick. Both tell him, get out. She's so sad. Oh, but they kick her out, so it's just them two. As the viewers, we think it is. Rick starts challenging the governor's leadership. He called him the town drunk. He says he knocked over my fence or ripped up a yard, which is a town drunk type of thing. The governor asks if Rick misjudges someone, and he brings up Judas. So Andrea pretty much has brought up everything that she went to the prison. Was it Andrea? We could speculate it was. I'm pretty sure it was. It could maybe. Make sure you find out a little bit later. I'll explain it when we get to that part. What another scenario for that was. And the governor says failing to see the devil beside you. They're just fighting back and forth at this point. Not physically, but with verbal vomit. Outside, you got Milton writing in his notebook, recording, like he likes to say, and he's recording the events that happened so history knows about it. Herschel chimes in and he's like, yeah, it's a good idea. And, a small world, I think The Walking Dead without seeing walkers. So, small herd of walkers shows up, and this is the dick measuring contest pretty much for both groups. Basically, Daryl and Martinez. It starts off with like Daryl's like, Martinez go first. Martinez is like, you go first. Andrew just like, fuck you both guys. He goes stabs him, and Martinez calls him a pussy. There was a lot of humor in this episode. It's a lot of dark humor, which the episode was whole about like tension and there's an up and coming war. There's tension, but really they showed with this thing that they're just there's just different sides to each group. So Martinez and Daryl have a dick measuring contest. You can kill the walkers in the most logistic way. There were some good kills, especially by Martinez. I'm not gonna lie, he kind of performed a little bit more than Daryl. And then Daryl finds cigarettes after that, and they're friendly. And Martinez is basically saying this, governor's meeting is a joke, and Daryl agrees. You also find out a little bit about Martinez, that he did have kids, he did have a wife, and lost them both. So a little bit of backstory on him, meaning he probably have a big part in the next 3 episodes. How big it will be, it could be very big, or it can just be like he does something a little bit, it's a little meaningful, not impacting. So you're just learning about it. You've been learning about Martinez. Maybe Martinez could be. Actually, I speculated this a little bit later. But yeah, they pretty much like, yeah, this means a joke. We're gonna be at war. That's pretty much the same. And Milton and Herschel bond as well. I guess they're the scientists apparently. Well, I think there was an interview where they said Milton has a scientific meeting with another scientist, which is Herschel. Herschel was a vet, so but he does ask about his leg. He explains what happened. And you get a little humor from Herschel from this too. He's just like, why don't you buy me a drink first? Starts laughing. So what they did with the scene was showing, the governor and Ricker had a very big tension, but Daryl, Martinez, Milton, Herschel, they're friendly with each other. They kind of have common interests. They are alike. So it's showing that it could spur some minds from both sides, and it could if Herschel has to kill Milton, would he do it right away? Depends situations with Herschel, but it's showing that there's a side that they're showing a side that these groups can't negotiate, and there's another side saying that they could work things out. And then you're back at the governor and Rick meeting place. The governor explains that he'll look weak if he leaves Rick's group alone, which is kind of true. If you're a leader and you're getting pestered a lot and you're not doing anything but getting bullied, I should say, you don't do anything about it, you're gonna look weak. So he kind of has it. Rick just says that's your problem, nothing else. TV froze. And then you find out the governor lost his wife. I believe this is before the apocalypse ever came upon. He explains how his wife died and how he never, he missed a voicemail from her. He's putting up a sob story. Maybe just punch Rick in the gut, maybe make the feels come out of Rick. He looks visible. He just kind of looks. Rick looks sad at this story. He's kind of like, ah, damn. So the governor's a suave person. He's gonna manipulate things, and at the end of the scene, you kind of see him smiling about it. So he's kind of a little bit weird about this, and maybe used it to gain advantage. Maybe. Back at the prison, Merle is ready to leave. He is ready to go ambush the governor by himself, but he doesn't. Him and Merle get into a spat, ends up in a brawl, nothing major. They roll down the stairs, tries to choke him, and they break it up. Well, Maggie and Michonne, they keep the stub away from Glenn, and Maggie puts a mean chokehold on her. Hang on, actually, but yeah, those two go at it. Once again, this is like a tension episode, showing tension between the groups, even within the group, and friendly sides. Nothing, big battles or anything. That was probably the biggest battle you'll see in this episode. Andrea, when she was in the meeting room, Rick brought up Maggie, and she didn't know what happened to Maggie. So when she gets kicked out, she goes, sits there, and Herschel comes over and says, how you doing and everything, and she's like, what happened to Maggie? He doesn't say what happened, but he's like, he's a sick man. And Herschel gives her an out. He's like, Herschel says, if you join the prison, it's settled. Like, saying, we will accept you, but if you leave here today, we don't know. You could be considered enemy of the state. So, Herschel's giving her an ultimatum, like Rick kind of did, and the governor. So she put between the groups. I don't know. I don't really care what happens to the character. Truthfully, not many people do, apparently. I'm gonna restart my TV here. Alright. So yeah. Not much Andrea this episode, which is a good thing, but alright, fix the TV. It's all good. But the governor brings up that his arm next, they're back in the depot, whatever the hell it's called. The governor tells, he's like a dick-sizing fucking competition. The governor's like, I got a big army, more combat readiness. I'm not sure when, actually, let me look ahead a little bit. I'm pretty sure up to this point, he actually mentioned that they saw the guns they brought in. I'm trying to read down the review. Yeah, they don't have it on this thing, but they do bring it. It's a kind of mind-boggling type of thing how this happened. But the governor brought up that we know you have guns. We saw the load you brought in the other day. So speculate here. I don't like to do this within the episode in case people don't like promos and stuff. They have eyes in the prison, basically. They know they brought the weapons in. Is there somebody watching the prison daily? Do they send someone out there? Is Merle a spy? The signs point away from Merle being a spy, but it could be possible. We don't know. But there's eyes on the prison. Rick knows that now. He's just like, damn it, he knows. So that kind of rattled him a little bit there. But the governor gives Rick an option of how to end this, and the one person is, this really kind of surprised me. But the governor said you can stop this today if you hand over Michonne. Now this puts right when Michonne starts getting within the group, she's accepted in the group now. The governor wants him. Puts Rick in a really tough situation. They bonded while they were on that run. Does he want to give her up to save the group? It's a tough decision. he knows what the governor does. He's got a gist of how he plans. So, he's got to think this through. The governor gives him time for it though. But I really thought he would ask for Merle or Michonne or both. I figured both, but I think that this is where my speculation of Merle actually being a spy. It's been speculated a lot since he escaped the prison, because you just don't, how Merle acts. So it will like add fuel to the fire for that speculation that he's a spy. I'm kind of leaning to him being a spy. Like it's conflicting. I think the next episode will definitely bring more light to that situation. If he is a spy, I won't be surprised if he wasn't. I'd actually be more surprised if he was a spy at this point. Even though I'm saying I kind of feel like he is. It's just it's conflicting there. I don't know, but it feels like that he could be a spy. So yeah, the governor wants him shown, and this can all end if he does that. At the prison, Merle is still trying to go for this assassination attempt. Tries to enlist Michonne. Michonne, if she was the Michonne before the prison, she would have totally gone. But now that she realizes that the group, this group is gonna keep her alive for much longer than she would have done by herself, she doesn't want to mess that up. So she declines and says, Merle, go yourself. I don't give a shit. Then even Maggie Glenn's sex scene, I thought this would be weird with this scene, like something big would happen because of it, but nothing did. I thought at the end it might have, but nothing big. It was just showing, oh yeah, she's over the rape thing. We don't know if she was raped. They didn't show it on the screen, but it's possible. Do I think she was? No. I just think she was mentally abused at that point. So yeah, back at the feed depot, Rick says, how can he trust the governor if he hands over Michonne? You really don't get an answer to that. But the governor says, I'll give you 2 days to decide, meet back here at noon. Obviously the governor has a plan. Everybody leaves this area. And Andrea, this is I guess maybe the big scene of thing. She had an out. She could have went with the prison group or Woodbury. Does she have a plan? It's possible. I'm not going to speculate, like I said, within the episode review, because people sometimes don't want to watch promos or hear speculation. They just want to wait until Sunday. So stick around to the end to hear promo speculation stuff. So yeah, she goes with Woodbury, kind of setting the tone that she's conflicted, but she's going to be a Woodbury. But that could change next episode. Like I said, I'll speculate at the end of this. But back at Woodbury, you do find out what the governor's true plans are, which isn't surprising. That when everybody shows up there, whoever it is, kill them except for Michonne. And I think this is the big scene. Even though this doesn't offer, you're not characters we're familiar with, Milton kind of stands up to the governor finally. He kind of always backs off whenever he's about to, the governor's about to get very angry at him. So the governor, Milton turns like, the governor's like, we don't want to get slaughtered. And the Milton's like, well, that is slaughter if you go to kill Rick and everything and not stand up to your plan. And the governor's like, we gotta eliminate Rick sooner or later. And Milton's not happy about that. Once again, speculation at the end of this thing. So wait until that. I got big speculation already from this episode and from the promos I saw. Back at the prison, Rick's just like, yeah, we're going to war. Both groups actually didn't explain what they talked about. At Woodbury, Andrea asked, well, what's the deal? How is this going to fix? Because the governor mentioned that they can fix this. He never explains. He's just like, it'll work. And at the prison, Rick never brings up the Michonne situation. He's just like, we're going to war. He knows what the governor will probably do. You kind of just trust him. How can you trust somebody like that at that point? So, bygones be bygones, I guess. And then Rick goes back out to the famous ledge where him and Lori had talks and stuff, and he's just staring out to the field. Herschel comes up. He tells Herschel about the governor's offer about giving over Michonne. Herschel says she's earned a place. She saved my life when the governor first raided. And Rick asks if this is the ending. I didn't really like it, but I understood why they would do it. It kind of sets the tone for maybe how the situation is to Rick and everything. But Rick asks if Herschel would sacrifice daughters' lives for Michonne. And Herschel says, "Why are you telling me that? Like, why are you telling me?" And Rick says, "Because I'm hoping you could talk me out of it." So Rick really likes his offer, but his gut is telling him no, because he knows the governor has history of being a skeevy pirate. And he knows there's something fishy about the deal. Michonne has earned her place, but do we give up one person to save many others? He doesn't, he's conflicted. Does he do it or does he not? Is it too good to be true, or is it, it's exactly what he wants. It's the life he wants if he gives up Michonne. If he doesn't give up Michonne, there's war. But can he trust the person he just saw for the first time and knows what he does? He's in a conflicted area. This episode is just basically, like I said, a tension builder. It's setting the scene for the last 3 episodes, and how the tension is rising. It's kind of lowered. Now both sides of the groups are just waiting. Those 2 days are going to be the longest 2 days that Rick and the governor have had in a long time. Well, actually, really, not really. I mean, but it's both. The governor's like all set. Yeah, he's going to accept it, but Rick's conflicted. So that is it for the review. It's kind of a tame episode once again. I expect next week to be more pacey or more action, I guess you would say. But it was not a disappointing episode. I thought it was a fairly good episode. There wasn't nothing really wrong. I guess people are going to complain about the beginning, like, oh, they never show him going back to the prison or anything. I just don't really care. I mean, it doesn't matter what they're going to show the prison, but like, yeah, we saw my friend Morgan. Nobody's like, who's Morgan? It was pretty much a pointless scene to add, so if people are going to complain about that, let them complain about it. But that is it for the review. I'm about to go into the episode 14 speculation. So if you're one of those people that just shuts down everything until next Sunday, you can leave now. Leave a like if you like the review, and come back next week. So we're gonna get right into the promo. So episode 14 is named Prey. It was, I think, originally named Killer Within Part 2. It's been mentioned as the Killer Within, Part 2 pretty much. It's that type of episode they've been hyping it up to be. The synthesis is like somebody left Woodbury while the governor was gone, and there's a traitor messing with the governor. So what? Basically, this is the Killer Within. I just realized this just now. This is the Killer Within episode for Woodbury. There is somebody that's gone missing. Like at the prison in the beginning, you saw the one prisoner run away, and Rick just left her to be dead. Did he die? No. He came back and pretty much killed Lori and T-Dog. Not T-Dog. T-Dog died. Wait, no. I lied. T-Dog and Lori died the same episode. But yeah, that's exactly what this episode's gonna be. You're gonna see the governor just panic. He's just gonna lose it, probably like Rick did. I can't believe I just realized now, even after reading the synthesis. So there's also a traitor in Woodbury. In Woodbury, messing with the stuff and things. So, who would leave? Milton, Andrea, the Karen girl with that kid. It's been speculated a lot. I know they're not just gonna give her lines and then just stop with her. I think she might show up a little bit more. But you're seeing in the promos they showed Tyrese in that. Tyrese, do they leave? I don't know. I just think the way the governor was looking at Sasha kind of irritated me toward it. So they could those. I was about to say dark horse. That would have been racist, but they're a wild card, I'll say, for maybe being the traitors. So basically, next week is the Killer Within Part 2, Woodbury style, I guess. We'll see the prison. We actually might not. I'm not sure if it's actually prison with promos in that Within. So it might be a prison lacking episode, but it's understandable. They're giving the Killer Within episode to the Woodbury. It might be as good as the one. It might even be better. Who knows? But all I know is probably setting the tone for, they're going to show Governor a little bit more paranoid and crazy, knowing that there's a traitor upon him again. Maybe Merle, I don't, like I said earlier, I don't know. And that somebody has deserted Woodbury. He doesn't want anybody leaving. He wants the army to be as strong as possible. So basically next week is Killer Within 2. You're going to be like, oh, nothing's going to happen. Boom! Come punch you in the face. Out of nowhere. You'll be like, wow, he's alive? Like the Killer Within with the prisoner that Rick just left to die. So I think next week's episode will be action-packed. I think, like, for the 5th time, it's gonna be a fantastic episode. The way I've seen the promos and the way I've just realized it was the Killer Within Woodbury version. So there's nothing really much more. We did actually see Tyrese. We saw in the promo last week there was a Tyrese clip. They must have mistakenly edited in there, or just being sneaky. But we do see Tyrese episode. The actor Chad Coleman said Tyrese is in like 5 of the 8 episodes, so I'd expect them to see maybe this week and episode 14 and 15, maybe 16. Just a little speculation on Tyrese's part. I was kind of disappointed we didn't see him this week, but I think we'll get 2 episodes back to back seeing him a little bit more. Also, Andrea actually is turning on the governor too. You actually see him tell Tyrese is not who he thinks he is. So she's kind of like, she might be the traitor that leaves. It might be Millen. It might be Tyrese to give the information. It might be the Karen girl. It's gonna be a fantastic episode. I can't wait. Seeing that I just figured out was Killer Within Woodbury version. I've said that a lot. But I'm ended here. Hope you guys enjoyed this week's review. It's longer than the past 2 weeks. Next week will probably be like 2 hours because it's going to be maybe a fantastic episode. So leave a like if you liked the video. If you didn't, then comment what I could do better, I guess. Dislike it if you have to. I don't know. But I hope to see you next week for episode 14 called Prey. I'm pretty sure. Also, the title, Arrow on the Doorstep, it's kind of like the Native American thing where you put a hatchet in wood to signify war. I guess that's just it was a Bob Marley song too, I think, or something. It was a song by somebody. Actually, it's a classic rock band. I just can't think of the name. But yeah, I will see you next week. So yeah, I'll see you next week. I'm just stalling at this point. I don't know why. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next week for the 3rd time.